Alright, so welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. So for this video, I'm going to show you guys how to play Crystal Miners. And after thinking about it for a while, I thought it would be easier to sort of play the game a little bit and teach you guys every little aspect of the game as we go. So this is going to be sort of like a gameplay video and a how to play video, okay? So I'm going to teach as I go. So first of all, you start with the setup. You start with 6 money. Okay, so this is our money, all right? And you start with 0 reputation, which is going to be up here on this, higher up on this board, and we'll zoom in on that later, okay? As we start utilizing this board here. And you start with 4 dice, and so what you're going to do on your turn is you're just first simply going to roll the 4 dice. So let's roll. Okay, so as you see, I got at least 1 6, and I got another 6, and I got a 2, and I got a 3. Now, I have 4 dice, and on my turn, I'm going to use all of the dice that I have rolled and put them at a spot to determine what action I'm going to be doing. Now, there's 8 rounds in this game, so let me zoom in. 8 rounds, and so we're just going to go ahead and mark this to indicate that I'm on the first round right now. Okay, so 8 rounds, all right? So right now, the only thing I have access to for actions, meaning places where I can put my dice, is the Explore action, the Market action, and the Packbird Caravan action. Now, this action here will allow me to pay any 2 goods I have for 4 money. And so while you start with 6 money, you're definitely going to need more money in this game. But that's not something I can do because I don't have any goods yet. This one, this market action, allows me to fulfill an order. But that also requires me to have goods, which I do not have yet. And then this one is the Explore action. If I go here, I can increase my reputation by 1 and get 1 money, which isn't super helpful to me right now either. So what can I possibly do? There's not much I can actually really do. Doing this will only give me 1 money right now. So that's where this is kind of interesting. So you have money, and any time during your turn, you can spend the money that you have to unlock new areas or upgrade. You can spend money to upgrade, and you can spend money to unlock areas to put your dice. So right now, I don't really have any options as far as placing dice. Not very many options at all. So, for instance, I'm going to unlock some areas I can go. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to pay 2 money to the Moss Caves. So this is a mine shack. These are mines. And we just discovered these mines, and so no one actually has come down here to start mining anything yet. So if I want to come down here, I'm going to have to work to get to it, right? So it's going to cost me 2 money. So let's pay that 2 money. So I'm going to pay that 2 money, okay? And now, just to show that I have access to this area, we're just going to go ahead and color in this dice so we know that I have access to that now. But still, that's not really enough because, I'll explain that in a moment, that's not really enough because that still only gives me 1 more dice placement spot besides this here. Because when you choose to do one of these 3 actions, you can't do 2. So if I was to spend the money to unlock the second highest one, I couldn't do both on the same turn, okay, or in the same round. I could only do 1 of them. So that's the thing. So right now, I only have 2 dice that can even do anything, and I wouldn't be able to do anything with these. So that means I need to unlock more areas. So that means that, and I only have 4 money left, okay? So that means I should pay 3 money to unlock the next section of the Moss Cave. So let's do that. I'm going to unlock it. I paid the money, so now we'll just color it in to indicate that this is now another area I have access to. Now, I can start allocating my dice. So I'm going to put down a 2 here, okay? And I'm going to put a 3 here. That gives me 2 glow moss, and so I'm going to grab a couple of little cubes to indicate that I have just dug up 2 glow moss. And so now I have 2 here. So that, yeah, that's nice. But I still have 2 dice to allocate now. 2 dice to allocate. So I'm going to fulfill an order with this 2 glow moss. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to send this dice to this location here to the market and fulfill 1 order. So let's go to the board to explain that. And let's just say we're going to pay these 2 now. So we're going to move these 2 up to the board, and I'll get back to you as soon as I zoom in over there. All right, so here we are on the market board here. So I'm going to go ahead and fulfill an order. I have 2 goods that I'm going to fulfill. I have 2 goods here that I was able to obtain. And so now I'm just going to put this cube here to indicate that I've fulfilled this order here of 2 glow moss. The other one will just go back to my inventory of cubes, or general supply of cubes, okay? So when you're playing multiplayer in this game, this is the only section of the game, the only time in the game where it gets a little more interactive with your opponents. Because while during the same round, another player could also fulfill the same order as me, 2 glow moss, and everybody else could as well. Once the round is over, once everyone has gone for that round, then all of the cubes will then cover this location, and nobody will be able to go here again. But they can still fulfill the weaker one or the higher ones for glow moss. So that's the only part of this game that is interactive, the only part. So you're just blocking this off for yourself and other players in the future. But doing this does a couple of different things. One of the things it's going to do is it's going to give me 2 money plus 1 per glow moss that was part of the order. So how much is that? Well, 2. So I'm going to get 2 plus 2. So I'm going to get 4 money. So let me get 4 money. And look at what we have. We have 4 money now. So that means I have 5 money now. So the second thing that this is going to do is it's going to be one of the main ways you're going to score victory points in this game. At the end of the game, if this was all I had here, at the end of the game, I would just get 1 victory point for having 1 order for the glow moss. That means if I had like 1, 2, 3, 4 of these orders done, then I would score 6 victory points for glow moss. And so that number of victory points is going to be higher for the more expensive stuff here. So the ores, the next up, the gears, the factory gears are next up after that, and the hexite is after that. So this is extremely expensive, but just even having 1 of these orders fulfilled would give you 3 victory points. But if you manage to get 5 orders completed, as in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so all 5, you'd get 25 victory points, versus if you had 5 of these, meaning you could still do 6 of them, but at most you can only do 5 to get the maximum of 14 points. So that's the difference versus in victory points. It's also going to give you more money too. Or is going to give you 3 plus the number that your order is what it is. So if I did this and this, I would just get 4 money, you know. But this and this would give me 5 money. This would give me 6 money. But if it was 5 and 5, well, that's 10 money. So you get more money for your goods the further you go down on these orders. But yes, this is the main way you're going to score victory points in the game. Now, when you start increasing your reputation, and there's a couple ways your reputation could go up. There's the explore action that will allow your reputation to go up, but then there's also an upgrade that will cause your reputation to go up as well. And so whenever your reputation goes up, you're just going to move your cube up the reputation track. It's kind of hard to tell because of the glare of the light and this lamination, but this is the reputation track. Now, at the end of the game, based on where your cube is, you're going to get some victory points. If you have it all the way up to the maximum, the most victory points you can get from the reputation track is 14. And whenever your cube arrives at a spot that gives you 2 money, then you're going to collect that 2 money instantly as well. And that means you could use it on the same turn if you had, you know, something you could buy it with, obviously. But that's what you're going to do with that, basically. So that's two of the main ways you're going to score victory points. So let's go back to my player sheet. Okay, so now I only have one dice that I can use for this round or this turn. So what are my options? Well, I could increase my reputation and put the dice here for 1 reputation and 1 money. That's a potential option. But you know what? And another thing I could also potentially do is I could also fight monsters. So I have a 6 dice here. So the way the monsters is going to work is you must actually fight monsters from left to right. You are not allowed to fight multiple monsters at the same time with the same dice. So for instance, I might have a 6 dice and I'm only 1 off because this is a 7, 3 and 4 would almost be 7. This dice cannot be used for both monsters like that. I can only use this dice for 1 monster, for instance. And so while that's almost overkill on the spider, as in it's a 6 dice, and that's only going to require you to have a 3 dice to defeat it, I could do that and defeat that monster. That's something I could do on my turn, but then, once again, the next one would be definitely more higher. And of course, if I wanted to fight this one on the same turn, I could, but I would need another dice to access this one. And then you'll notice that the monsters are higher than 6. So if you want to defeat the stronger ones, it's going to require a stack of dice equal or higher to the number that the monster is, okay? Now, each of these first few monsters are going to give you 1 victory point at the end of the game. But then the next ones up will give you 2 victory points. These last 2 before the lava worm would give you 3 victory points. And if you manage to defeat the lava worm, that's 5 victory points. But you're getting all of these. So if you manage to defeat all of these monsters, you're going to get all of these victory points, which is nice. So that's the third main way you're going to score victory points, is defeating monsters. And just simply putting your dice here could be one of the things that you could potentially do even on the first round. Now, the last main way you're going to score victory points in this game is with these upgrades. Okay, so let's zoom in a little bit more. There we go. So when you decide you're going to upgrade, each upgrade costs you money. And you only have access to the top 2 first. So you'll notice these little arrows here indicate that these are the only ones you have access to first. So this one would cost 1 money. This one would cost 3 money. Okay? And they're each worth a victory point at the end of the game. So some of these only give you 1 victory point. So these 3 do. This one only gives you 1. This one only gives you 1. This one gives you 1 per mine location you own. That means every mine location you own. So if you unlock a lot of these mine locations, you can get a lot of extra victory points for the hauler, because it's not for one of these, it's for all of them that you have spent money on. So that could give you, that could give you 12 victory points if you've done them all. This mining town here can give you 15 victory points at the end of the game. So that's cool, but it costs 20 money to unlock. But you can't just simply say, hey, I'm going to save up 20 money and do this one first. You have to work your way to this one. So the way that so that means that first you're going to have to upgrade something up here, one of these. Then you're going to have to draw your line downward to the next one, unlock this, as in spend the money to unlock it, then go down here, spend the money to unlock this, and then finally you can spend the money to unlock this and get this upgrade for the last 15 victory points for that one. Or you can go this route. So like I said, you can go this route, so you can go either this way, okay, or you can go through the drill tanks, the hauler, and then the mining town, which is a little shorter of a path. So you can take a longer path, you can take a shorter path. And it doesn't matter which path you can take, because as long as you're following the rules of, what is adjacent to something you've unlocked, you can unlock all of these upgrades if you have the money for it. If you have the money. That's assuming you do. Because like I said, you're going to be using your money on a lot of stuff, and you're probably not going to have all the money in the world to unlock everything here, especially when you're going to probably be spending your money on these dice to do more stuff each round, and obviously spending money here to get more goods. So I have 1 dice left. What could I potentially do with the last dice? Well, I have actually 5 money left. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend all 5 of my money. Okay, so let's pay that and zoom out since I'm a little close there. Okay, I'm going to spend all 5 of it, and I'm going to unlock the ore shafts. So now I have access to this next round. Or if actually I have access to it this round, because I still have 1 more dice to use, right? Which is, where's my dice? Ah, the one I was, so yes, let's put that there. So now I don't have anything but 1 ore. I just have 1 ore. Now that means that this ore here can carry on to the next round. I do not lose it at the end of the round. I get to hold on to it until I spend it to make money or to fulfill orders. Now, there's one thing I didn't talk about too much, and that's the Packbird Caravan. So let me zoom on that a little bit. So while you could do this and pay any goods of your choice, which is useful if you have 1 of each and they're not the same good, you could pay 2 to just get 4 money. That's not really going to help you get victory points, right? But let's say you have 3 goods and you need money to, unlock other stuff, which is viable. Well, it only costs 1 money to unlock this ability, this location, sorry. But then if you pay 3 goods, you get 8 money. That is actually going to be a lot more than fulfilling an order here at the beginning of the game. You're going to get more money for doing this than this. But this will also help you get victory points as well. So you're going to have to even the odds, even it out, balance it out, do some of these to get the money so you can unlock stuff, get more dice, unlock more mines, but then make sure you don't lose track of fulfilling orders so that way you can get as many victory points as possible. But I think I've explained at least how to play the game for the most part. But let's just say we'll continue playing, because let's just continue playing, all right? So we can see some more ideas of what you could potentially do. But, if you don't want to watch me play the game, then thank you guys for watching the how to play version of this game. But I'm going to continue playing a little bit. Probably won't play the full game, but I want to show you guys, just some things that you can potentially do. So now that the first round is done, and I already marked that off, so I know that. Now that the first round is done, I'm going to re-roll my dice. Now these 3 dice are still part of that location there, but now I have 4 dice. I'm going to re-roll them for the second round. Okay, so didn't get as high on dice, but as you saw in the last round, most of these dice locations do not require high-level dice unless you start getting crystals or gears, for instance, So, yeah, didn't get very many high-level dice here. So what am I going to do for this round? I have no money, so that means I can't access upgrades yet. I can't get new dice because I have no money, because I spent it to get that ore shaft going. So what I'm going to do is I am going to put a dice there. I'm going to put a dice here. That was a 4, wasn't it? Yeah. And that's going to get me 2 glow moss. Okay. And then we'll put a dice here, which will get me an ore. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do for my last dice here is I'm going to go ahead and fulfill an order. So I'm going to put this dice here to indicate that I'm going to do that. So that means now I'm going to fulfill an order. So I'm going to fulfill the ore shaft, the ore order. So the ore order for 2. Oh, and so this would now be here. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. And this one I don't need anymore. And so that's going to give me 2 plus 3. So it's going to give me 5 more money. So that's nice. I got some more money back. 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. We got some money. All right, so now What do I want to do? Well, that's all I can do for the second round, deliberately. That was a very short round. So, see, that was done. That was fast. Okay, so let's go back down. Let's see. Oh, and now this will be here. Okay. All right, so let's re-roll all my dice again. Okay. Okay, very low dice here. There might not be much I can do this round. I've got 2 1s and 2 2s. So this is what I'm going to do. Since I did not get very many high dice here, and I need 3 2s at the very least just to do these, and I've only got 2 2s here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to spend 1 money on the headlamps. So what does headlamps do? Well, it's going to allow me to re-roll 1 die per turn. So maybe that will be helpful. So we're going to try that out. We're going to pay the 1 money, and then I'm going to just go ahead and mark this in, so that way I know I've done it. I don't have to pay it forward again. I have access to it for the rest of the game. So now we're going to re-roll a dice. I'm going to re-roll that one. And I got a 5. Much better. Okay, so now I only have 4 money. I'm going to hold on to the 4 money for the moment, because there's not much I can do with it except for maybe unlocking the pistols or the premium gear, which I don't really want to do right now either. Yes, I don't want to do that either. So I think what I'm going to do is just try to get some more goods. So we'll put a 2 there. Okay, we'll put a 2 there. We're going to put the 5 there. Okay, which is going to get me 2 more moss. Okay, and it's going to get me 1 more ore. And then we'll put this here at the market. And then we're going to fulfill an order of 4 moss. So let's go back up. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that. So we just need 1 of the cubes to indicate that we're doing that there. And then it's going to be 4 plus 2. So I'm going to get 6 money. 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I've got 10. So now I've got some stuff I can do next round, potentially. But now we're done with the 3rd round. See how fast this game can go. Now, when you're playing against other people, when you're done with your turn, and as in you don't have nothing else to do, you will have to wait until everybody else is done before continuing on to the next round. But, you know, it's so easy to just play this game solo to forget that. While there isn't an official rule set for solo, you can almost play this completely solo. So, okay, so I've got 10 money, and I'm already into the next round, so let's first just roll our dice. Okay. Okay. I got a 4. I got a 4. I got a 2, and I got a 1. So I'm going to re-roll this. And I got another 4. Okay, so now I have some options here because I have some higher numbers, first of all. And I do have some money. So let's see here. This is going to cost me 8 to do. No, this is what I should do. This is what I should do. This is what I'm going to do. So first of all, I'm going to unlock the next dice for 6 money. It's going to cost me 6 money, but I'm going to unlock my next dice. 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay. And I get to use this now. So let's roll it. And it's a 5. So now I have 5 dice I can use this round. 5. So I've only got 4 money left. 4 money. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upgrade. I'm going to spend 3 money on the pistols upgrade. What that's going to do, and I'll zoom in, is it's going to decrease the monster strength by 1. So now when I fight my first spider, instead of it needing a 3 dice, it's only going to need a 2 dice. Okay. So yeah, we'll just do that, like so. Now we have access to that upgrade for the rest of the game. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go ahead and defeat that first monster. Okay, so we're going to put the dice here. There we go. Okay, because it only requires a 2, and that's a 3. Now it's a 2 because of my pistol's upgrade. Okay, I'm not going to fight any more monsters right now, but maybe I can next round. Okay, let's go back up. Okay, so I don't have any more money except for 1, so I can't do anything with that really. So first, let's allocate the rest of our dice. We can allocate them to 3 different locations here, and they're all the same really, so it doesn't really matter which one I'm putting now. So we'll just do all 3 of those like we have been. That'll give us 2 more of these glow moss and 1 more ore. Okay, so now I have 1 more dice left. So actually, I'm going to spend my last money to get access to that pack bird location. So let me just color this in. Okay, because that only costed 1 money to do. What that's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to pay 3 goods to get 8 money. Any 3 goods of my choice. So I'll do the 2 moss and 1 ore. And we'll pay that forward, and then we'll get 8 money. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 money. So now I've got even more money, and we put the 5 there to indicate that that's one we're doing anyway, right? So once again, we're, you know, doing rounds. Now I might have missed a round. I might have forgotten to mark that in for the video, but I'm not going to play the full game anyways, so we're not too worried about that right now. I'm not too worried about that because I'm not going to finish the game. I just wanted to show you, for the most part, what it's going to be like. Okay, so now I've got 8 money. So what I'm going to do for this round is I'm going to spend 5 money before I'm done with the round. 3, 4, and 5. And I'm going to go ahead and access these drill tanks. Okay? What do the drill tanks do? Well, they're going to allow me to get +1 ore whenever I defeat a monster. So now you know why I decided not to fight any more monsters, because I want to get free ore for every time I defeat a monster. So that's what I plan to do next round, is get a ton of ore that way. Now I only have 3 money left, and there's not much I can do with it, so I'm just going to hold on to that, and we'll continue on into the next round. The next round will be our last round for this explanation video. So now, before I do anything, I had the dice here for the spider. We want to make sure we color this in so we know that we defeated this spider. Okay, so I'm just going to do 1 more turn. Okay, and I still have 1 ore there. Okay. I got a 6 and a 5. I got 2 2s, and I got a 1 again. So we will roll that because of my headlamp upgrade. And a 2 is better than a 1. Okay, so now I've got some options here. All right, so I think what we're going to do is first, I'm going to need... So this is what we'll do. We'll put 2 dice here and fight this serpent. So that's what we're going to do with the first 2 dice, which is going to give me 1 ore, okay, because of my drill tanks that we used in that fight. And that will leave me with just 3 more actions, 3 more dice to allocate and utilize. So I'm going to put that here, and that's going to give me another ore. So now I've got 3 ore. And then this one is only a 5, but we're just going to use this dice anyways and defeat the slug, which is going to give us another ore. So now we got 4 ore. And then we're going to use our 6th dice here for the market to fulfill 1 order. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and fulfill that order. We have 4 dice cubes. So I only need 1. This would be here now, or would have been there for a while. And we're going to do this order here, which is going to give us 7 money. So now I'm going to get myself 7 money. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I have a total of 10 money now. So at the end of the game, let's just say this is the end of the game now. At the end of the game, because of these 2 orders that I was able to do, I would get 3 victory points. Because of these 2 orders I was able to do for the glow moss, they'd give me 2 victory points. That's 5 victory points. Let's go back down. I don't have any reputation whatsoever, so nothing to give me stuff there. So let's see here. I still have some money. I could, do some stuff and upgrade some more things if I wanted to. But I don't really have enough to really do much of anything over here with. Not right now, anyways. Not right now. But yes, I would get 3 victory points for defeating these 3 monsters. So that would have, right now I'd have 8 victory points, for instance, because I've defeated these guys. Okay. And that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I could do. I mean, I could probably buy something that would give me a couple extra victory points for these upgrades, but that would be all I could do. And of course, there would still be a couple of more rounds left where I could do stuff with. But basically, I think you grasp the game for the most part. I hope this was good enough for a gameplay. I didn't want to make this super long, so I tried to make sure I only did half of the gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys again next time. Bye.